Good morning, kids. Nice to meet you. My name is Grandma Celia, and I'm here today to read a very interesting story to you. I said story interesting because it is not an ordinary story. I would rather say it's a make-believe story. It is full of humor and magic. Have you heard about magic? Have you seen people doing magic? Okay. Just yesterday, I had an experience of a scene of magic. I was tending to my plants in our garden and it was drizzling. Suddenly, the sun shone so bright. And do you know what happened? There's a big rainbow on the sky. And have you seen rainbows, class? Yes, it is like this. This is a rainbow. How many colors are the rainbow? Can you count it? Okay. You see, some people say that at the end of the rainbow, there is a pot of gold. The pot is full of gold. And do you know who owns that gold, that pot of gold? It's a leprechaun. Have you seen leprechauns? Here it is. He is a magical creature. He's so smart. He's just 3 feet tall. He's a joker. He's smart and he dances well. They say they don't see leprechaun every time. People say that it's very hard to catch a leprechaun. And if ever you are lucky and you catch a leprechaun, he will give you gold coins to set him free. Interesting, it is? So, would you want to catch a leprechaun? There are so many stories that are written about leprechauns, but this time I chose a nice one for you to enjoy. The title of our story is The Leprechaun Under the Bed, written by Teresa Bateman and illustrated by Paul Meisel. Are you not asking yourself, kids, why is there a leprechaun under the bed? So, you must listen very well while I am reading so that you will find the answer to the question. Brian O'Shea enjoyed his privacy. A leprechaun can be alone without being lonely, he liked to say. And indeed, he would know, for he made a snug home beneath the ground in an out-of-the-way spot. But time went on. Big, tall human people moved nearer and nearer until one day a man named Sean MacDonald started building a stone cottage right overhead. Brian tried leprechaun magic to stop Sean. He made Sean see headless ghosts and even a banshee rising from the foundation stones of his new cottage. But his plan backfired. It's just like my sainted mother always told me, Sean declared in delight. The land of Ireland is full of magic and surprises. All too soon, a fine cottage stood over Brian's home, so he built a door under Sean's bed. On moonlight nights, Brian would cobble outside, but when it rained, he worked under Sean's bed, deliberately disturbing the man's sleep. Yet, he didn't wish to be discovered, so if Sean moved, Brian would whisper, "Now you don't be fretting, you with little head. It's only the cat under the bed." After a week of restless nights, Xian discovered he had to know why wasn't sleeping well. He went to bed as usual, but though his eyes were closed, his ears were open. At midnight, the tapping began, and Xian sat bolt upright. Now, don't you be fretting your wee little head. It's only the cat under the bed, he heard from below. Of course, the cat, Xian yawned, settling back under the covers. Then his eyes flew open. I don't have a cat, he thought. And if I did, who ever heard of a talking cat? So, what was under the bed? The answer popped into his head. Xian smiled. His mother had always said that a leprechaun in the house was a fine piece of luck. Luck he couldn't afford to lose. The next morning, Xian made stirabout for breakfast and placed a bowl of it under the bed for the cat. At lunch, the bowl was empty, so he put in some stew. From that day on, every time he filled his own plate, he added a bit to the bowl under the bed. Xian was a hard-working man, but his small farm produced barely enough. Times grew hard, and times grew harder, until there came a day when Xian went to bed with both his stomach and the bowl is empty. But the next morning, a gold coin gleamed in the middle of the kitchen table. What a blessing it is to have a cat in the house, he remarked aloud before hurrying out to buy good food. They lived well for weeks on that coin, but soon the cupboard was bare again and another gold coin appeared. Consider this alone, Xian said, until times are better. Thank you, cat. But when Xian went to buy his oatmeal and potatoes, there was more than one eyebrow raised in the village. A poor man might have saved one gold coin for hard times, but two gossip ran like water through fingers, and as it spread, it grew. Xian MacDonald must have a whole chest of gold coins hidden in his cottage. What many tongues say, be it true or not, many ears hear. Two robbers caught wind of the tale and decided that no one deserved Xian's gossip gold more than they did. One crisp, dry morning, they hid outside, waiting for Xian to leave. Then they slipped into his cottage, tossed the cupboard, and pried stones out of the fireplace. Such a clatter made Brian poke his head under the bed. He was shocked at what he saw, but what happened next is worse. The cottage door swung open and Xian returned for a forgotten tool. In no more times than it takes to tell, the robbers tied the poor man to a chair. Tell us where you hidden the gold, they bellowed. Fearing for Xian's safety, Brian banged his hammer against the floor to catch the robbers' attention. "And now, what's that?" one of the men said. Fearing for Brian's safety, Xian spoke quickly. "Now, don't you be fretting your wee little head. It's only a cat under the bed." "Cat?" the man replied. "Well, The bed is the only place we haven't looked. As Sean worried, Brian grinned. Both robbers stuck their heads under the bed, and yes, they saw exactly what Brian had told them, a cat. But this was a wild cat, eyes like lightning and claws like knives. The cat smiled at the robbers, then licked its lips as if it found the sight of them so tasty. With a shriek, the men tumbled backward and then fled as if the devil himself were at their heels. Brian laughed till tears ran down his cheeks. Oh, 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 oh. Sean chuckled as well as he wiggled free of the rope. Then he stretched and bowed in the direction of his pillow. "'Tis a grand thing indeed, having a cat beneath the bed," he declared. "Aye," replied a voice from below, "and it is a pleasure having a friend above it." And they lived well and happily for the days of their lives. Did you like this story, class? Did you listen very well? And did you find the answer to our question a while ago? Okay. Now, let me see. We still have other questions here. What was the work of the leprechaun? Yes, he is a cobbler. And what happened to his place of work that made him move to another place? Yes, people built their houses over his place of work. Where did he build his new house? Yes, under Sian's bed. And who tried to enter Sian's house to look for gold? Yes, 2 robbers. How did the leprechaun help and drive the 2 robbers away? He made himself into a fierce and scary cat. Now, would you want to have a leprechaun in your house? Why? Tell us. Okay. Wow, you are great. It means you all listened to our story. And for this, I am giving you a bonus. Oh no, it's not gold. I don't have gold. Now, let's go back to the rainbow. Do you know the colors of the rainbow? We have it here. Say it with me. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. Again, let's tell the colors. Red together. Orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. What if someone asks you, name the colors of the rainbow in order? Can you do it? Okay. It will be like this. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. This is the acronym, the secret of the names of the colors of the rainbow. And we read it as Roy G. Biv. Can you say it again? Roy G. Biv. Well, you are indeed amazing. And for all of this, let's give ourselves 3 claps to cheer you all. 1, 2, 3. Very good. So now, bye-bye. See you next time.